can just go ahead and introduce him.
Okay. And welcome back. Sorry for the technical difficulties that we faced, but we are back, and we have Keely Nahe Mendiola Jensen here with us. Play of the game, like we said, and we wanted to ask your thoughts. Break this down. What happened during that play?
You know, right before the break, my position coach said, let it rip, basically be aggressive. And to be honest, I was just playing football. I kind of blanked out for a second.
That's when the best plays happen, right?
Ball just ended up right in my hands somehow, but you know, it was just a blessing. You know, right place, right time.
Man, well, I think you did a great job of playing the play action fake and keeping your leverage on the quarterback here. As you can see, you forced him into that play. He knew he wasn't going to get outside of you. He made a mistake. So you guys kind of put a little bit of pressure on him in the second half to kind of step up and try to make some plays. And, you know, this is the outcome. I mean, hell of a play right here. The awareness by you to come down with the ball right here is amazing. Play of the game by far.
Thank you.
And more than anything, the timing of it. Look, that's the fourth quarter, 6 minutes left. I mean, when you walked off, I'm sure the offense was like, bro, thank you.
Yeah, you know, it's more than me, you know. I can't score 23 points by myself. I'm not able to do what I'm able to do without the front seven. And yeah.
Yeah, and overall, what a great play. Like we said, that's a play of the game, but just an overall to open the season, week 0 after a brutal fall camp. What was this win like for you? You said you're tired.
Yeah, I'm exhausted, but shoot, this is just the beginning for this season. This is what you can expect for the rest of the season. I'm excited. I know the players are excited, and I hope you guys are excited too.
Yeah, I mean, what's the locker room night? What's the feel like now? Like last year, we opened up the game against UCLA, right? A similar situation. We could have got a big win by a Pac-12 school in our house. You guys closed out the deal this year, right? You didn't let them off the hook. You guys sealed the deal at the end. You guys came back. You fought hard. You didn't open the game great, but you guys stuck with it, had a lot of grit. So what's the feeling like now? Is there a bigger belief in your guys' selves this year?
You know, we always believe in each other and ourselves, and we're all bought in this year. I feel like this year we're a lot more mature, a lot more get it done, you know? So I feel overall it'll be a good year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Greg mentioned, you know, last season kind of the same thing at that UCLA game. What was halftime like for you guys to ensure that that didn't happen again?
Yeah, so at halftime, Coach Chang made some adjustments, and then overall just told us play our game. Don't have self-inflicting wounds, unforced errors, and at the end of the day, drag them to the deep end. You know, we're Hawaii. We're a bunch of sharks, you know. Drag them to the deep end.
Yeah. It looks like you guys had a lot of success too, slowing down the run and like those mid quarters, and then they kind of got to go in a little bit in the fourth. Yeah. Then you had the big pick. What was that like? What were the adjustments you guys made to kind of slow them down? Because it looked like they kind of got the ball rolling a little bit with 20, and then it looks like you guys really stepped up and kind of shut them down for a while.
Yeah, it just came down to willpower. You know, we got a good scheme put in by the coaches, and if we're able to execute that scheme, we can't be stopped.
Yeah, and on the road to Arizona next. I mean, kind of a preparation game with today playing in the hot sun, going to Arizona. Guys are obviously ready for it, but obviously have to stay prepared and not get too ahead of yourselves because a lot of football left to play.
On to the next. I'm excited for next week, and I hope you guys are too.
Yeah, we are all excited.
Awesome,
but
man.
we should let you go celebrate with your team. Big win on opening day, so congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate your time today, man.
Thank you for joining us.
Great job.
Thank you.
You can.
We'll take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Yeah, give him a shout out, and then sealing the deal with the kicks. Block, field goal, special teams.
Oh, yeah.
Special teams was up.
Yeah. Welcome back to the live interactive postgame show. And a reminder for all of you watching out there, please leave some questions in the comment section. We would love to answer it. I know Greg has a lot of things that he wants to say.
Ask us anything, any
guys.
question. Nothing is off limits here. So please fire away in the chat box if you guys can.
Yeah, and like we said, this game was so exciting. My nerves, I mean, the last like 5 minutes, actually the whole game was just racing up and down. But let's talk about the first half before we get to anything else. That first half was, like we said, could look like that UCLA game last year. So what did you see?
I mean, we started off the worst possible way we can obviously start off. I mean, it was not great. The little error on special team, unforced, starting with the ball on the 1 yard line. We couldn't stop the run off the bat, and then a sack fumble. That's terrible. That's 10 points we gave to them right away.
Worse,
so you kind of were shaking your head a little bit. I was air punching some things out there. But yeah, that was terrible. But they really stuck with it. They showed a lot of grit, and they were able to go into halftime with a 1-point lead, right? So really hats off to the team for sticking together, not letting those errors kind of dictate the rest of the game. And I was talking to it about a couple people on the field, but super cliche, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we ended up finishing really well. Really well.
And like you said, 10-0 right off the bat. That is hard to come back to. But we had a couple of Micah Alejado touchdowns, Supofele and Jackson Harris, and we have some of those highlights here. I want Greg to break it down for you guys.
Yeah, well, this is awesome. This is what I was calling for a little bit last year, a little bit more motion, a little bit different formations. This one, they were playing in and out. They motion Pofele in here. He gets a clean release, and they run double ends. And in this, the defense right here, they're trying to play in and out. They're waiting for someone to break in, and then the other person breaks in with that. And if someone breaks out, the other defender takes them out. They both break in. He's able to break across the face and get an easy touchdown here. Pitch and catch. Beautiful way to start the game. But this is what I wanted to see last year. It looks like they're a little bit more comfortable in this offense, where they can dress it up a little bit. They don't have to just line up 4 wides. They can start Pofele out. They can get him an easy release off the line of scrimmage and let our playmakers make plays.
Yeah, and Pofele there getting the starting touchdown in those bright green cleats. But we also have a Harris touchdown. Let's take a look at this one.
Oh, I mean, this must feel great for him, right? I mean, transferring in from Stanford to come here and make a play like this, just great. Just a great overall pitch and catch. At the end of the half, too, this is how you finish on the 20-yard line. Really trusting it. That was a really good ball, gets it up and down in a short amount of time. Hell of a pitch and catch by these guys right here. There's nothing more to it right here. It's a one-on-one. It's man-to-man offense versus defense, and our guy comes up with a big play.
And right before half, to not go into halftime being down 13-7, how big is that?
That's huge because, like I said, we gave up the 10 points right away. So it was there's a lot to overcome when that happens, right? When someone wins the turnover battle and they score points on defense, they typically tend to win the games. There's a lot of statistics that point to that. This right here is just able to overcome adversity, especially early on in the season. It's a huge win. It's got to be a big boost for confidence to let the team know they're never out of it. They're always in the game. They have the players to make the plays, and they can execute when they need to.
Yeah, and obviously we just took a look at 2 receiving touchdowns, but we have a question here that's asking about our run game. What do you think about our run game? It's so great to see them getting it going with timely runs.
Well, it's huge, right? That's what the run and shoot has always done. We've always had a good complementary run game, right? When we start throwing the ball really well, guess what? They start double teaming people. They start playing man. You're able to break through the line of scrimmage, and you're able to get big chunk runs. And that's what we saw today. We had those big chunk runs when we needed them. And it was nice to see our running backs get some things going on the ground.
Yeah, and that second half was so entertaining. Like we said, a lot of special teams highlights. Let's take a look at some of them that came up big to get this win today.
Huge. Special teams was a little up and down. Punting went really well. Didn't start that great, but here, the field goal block, these gotta have it moments right here. This is huge, to get a field goal block right here, and we end up winning by this amount of points. So everything matters. You don't know when, something like this is gonna come back and show itself at the end of the game. So to get this field goal block here was huge for us, gave us a lot of momentum, and which you can continue to ride, and we did for that second quarter.
Yeah, and like you said, special teams can pretty much dictate the game, as we saw today with Hawaii getting the win over Stanford by a late Kansei Matsuzawa field goal.
Field goal, yes.
Sorry, guys.
I'll let him score a touchdown if he wants to.
If
he can score a touchdown, I'm there for it. But our punters did a great job again today. We talked a lot about our punters last year. Love talking about punters. I love special teams because it's such a huge part of the game. It can really dictate a win or a loss. as you can see in today. We had some opportunities where it could have cost us the game, but then they came back and were able to make a lot of field goals, 3 for 3, and he might be winning an award this week with his performance.
I would say so too.
I can see a Mountain West award coming his way.
Exactly, week 0, and like you said, special teams, they can often get overlooked, but they can really change a game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you saw it to start the game off. Starting the ball on the 1-yard line. Just those unforced errors, you really got to get rid of those. There's some stuff that they can clean up here. There's going to be a lot of good teach tape. But, I think the biggest thing that we're going to be looking forward to is how is Micah's injury?
We have to talk about it.
Is he okay? We're going to have to talk about that. And I expect him to be not practicing at all this week, probably. A lot of film room stuff, 24/7 kind of taking care of his body. I'm not exactly sure what the injury is. It looked like, I was able to see some replays on the television. It looked like it was a hip drop and really got under his leg. So I was fearful that it might be a knee, but it looked like we dodged a bullet there.
We definitely did dodge a bullet, but there were times he was just kind of limping on the field, and even I was like, oh, please, nothing more, don't make it worse.
To his credit, he really gritted it out at the end. I mean, he even scrambled for a big, I think, I don't know if it was a second or third down play, but really put us down to give us another opportunity to score at the end of the game. You can see he couldn't put pressure on it. The lucky thing is he's a lefty. It was his his right foot, so it's not his plant foot. So you can see he was still able to get some mustard on some of those deep balls and let them know, hey, I'm still dangerous. I can pass the ball down the field. But going to really be looking to see how he handles this injury. Will he be available? Because these things, I know this firsthand, I can finish a game with an injury. As soon as the adrenaline wears off and I get into the locker room and I take my pads off, all of a sudden that thing starts throbbing and I'm like, where's some Advil? Where's some ice? I need some help. Someone help me out right now. So that's going to be something that he's going to have to look at.
Yeah, and part of the reason that they got the win tonight, obviously, you don't want to see Micah go down, but the defense stepped up when they needed it the most. That defensive line, what did you see from them tonight?
Well, I think they made a lot of good adjustments. I think early on that first drive, Stanford was able to drive the ball for a good 7 minutes, 8 minutes, really show that Stanford type of football, that ground and pound. They have a really good running back there that was, he really showed what he can do, he was capable of. But I thought they made great adjustments. I thought they kind of got pushed off the ball a little bit in that first drive, and then they really tightened it up after there and were able to start making some big hits and some big plays. And start to get a little bit more pressure on the quarterback. Early on, it looked like he was kind of comfortable back there sitting, and you can see as they progressively got a little bit more pressure on him, he was throwing some errant balls. We could have had 3 interceptions.
Oh, yeah.
There could have been another pick 6 in there. So that's a good and a bad thing. We want to make those plays when we have an opportunity, but it just shows us we still have a lot more room to grow and can really step ourselves up as a defense. And I don't think defense was the problem last year either. I think the defense was always a good part of our team. They always kind of really kept us in the game on a lot of games. So looking forward to see them to continue to progress.
Yeah, and you talked a little bit about last season. We sat here every game afterwards and talked about it. What do you see differently? Obviously, brand new quarterback. Micah's now starting. But what's the difference between last season and this season?
Well, this season, I think obviously a quarterback that they are really high on right now, right? Micah has come in. I think he gave a lot of people a lot of hope in that last game, throwing for whatever it was, 450 yards, 4 touchdowns, set a bunch of freshman records for us here, which is hard to do. We've had some really good players come through here at the quarterback position, right? So I think that spark, when you have someone that you really believe in and you know that they can get it done, and there's that belief, and these guys have spent so much time together now gelling, I think now is a year you can see them take that next step. They've been close to having 6 wins, 5 wins, a couple plays here and there. They didn't let those plays get them down this game. They were able to overcome those things and pull out a win, which good teams do. Doesn't matter how you win, you pull out the win, and that's what everybody's talking about.
Exactly, and now they go on the road to Arizona. Kind of a tough place to play. What do you think they have to take with them now? Obviously, you don't want to get ahead of yourself. A big win on week 0 can kind of fire up a team a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think they have a lot to look forward to, right? Obviously, they got a big win against a big-name opponent. I by no means do I think Stanford's the Stanford of Andrew Luck days that we saw him. They were putting the camera on him a bunch out there. That's not that Stanford, right? They're Stanford. That's going to be a down year for them. So this was a game I thought we needed to win and probably should have won. Is he? I have no idea.
That's a great question.
Yeah, great question.
James is asking if Micah might sit out next week. We all kind of don't know. We're all waiting to see how this week goes. Like you said, he's going to be watching a lot of film, a lot of ice, just kind of chilling for a little bit, and we shall see.
Yeah, good news that he finished the game.
Yes.
Great news. Also good news that it's not his plant foot, right? So he's able to still get some mustard behind the ball, like I had mentioned before. But I don't think they'll let anybody know whether he's going to play or not until the day, until day of, right? You don't want to give the opposing team any information that you don't have to give them, right? He'll be on the injury report. People will know that he's injured, but hopefully in these next 5 to 6 days, we can really do some good treatment on him, and maybe you can see some Reiki massage if we can do some Mr. Miyagi stuff to him. That would be great.
Right. So Arizona next week. But overall season, let's look at the big picture. What are your thoughts after today's one game?
I mean, you can be nothing but hopeful and optimistic, like you were going into this game. This was what I expected our team to do. I thought they could have won by more, and that would have been awesome. My goal, obviously, is for this offense to put up 28 points a game. I think if we can put up 28 points a game, we are going to be in a lot of games. Our defense, I think I saw a stat, we held them to like 109 yards passing. We have a good secondary. We have some good playmakers on defense. We saw the type of athleticism we have from the players we have, the type of plays they can make. So I'm excited to see the rest of the season. Arizona is going to be a tougher game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a more difficult game for sure. On the road. I think that'll tell us a little bit more before we come back home and start playing some more games. But I'm excited, optimistic. You got the win. 1-0 right now, undefeated on a national level, on a national stage. It doesn't get any better than that. I hope these guys are celebrating in there right now.
Right, and I remember 9 months ago when we sat here and talked after that big Micah Alejado game and Hawaii got that win, and we were talking about next season. Happened so quick. Now here we are.
Here we are. But you can see it looks a little different this year. And I think that's the most important part, right? I think we all have a little bit higher expectations, which is good. These guys have a little bit of pressure on them now because we think they can be a good team.
Yeah,
and I'm excited to see what they can do the rest of the season.
Yeah, and we had Kilinahi Mendiola Jensen on the show earlier, and he did say this team is different.
Yeah. I think we got one more question here.
Yeah, do you think special team is going to have extra reps when fielding a ball near the sideline?
I hope so. I think we need to know that if you're a returner, you have to know that. You take one step out of bounds and field it, then we're getting the ball on the 40-yard line, and we have great field position as opposed to kind of shooting ourselves in the foot. Obviously an unforced error. I hope he learns from it. It's a great teach moment. Luckily, it didn't cost us the game.
Luckily.
Because then, he's feeling really bad. I've seen those situations where that can get a player down. Listen, it wasn't the end of the world. We overcame it, which was huge, but that's going to be a teachable moment. And unfortunately, he's going to have to sit through that in film.
I know.
But the good thing is that, I saw him make a couple catches afterwards. He looks like he's got a lot of juice, and he looks like he's going to help us out a lot this year. But those are some things we got to clean up. Those are those unforced errors that we have to clean up. So, can expect some special teams coaching this week.
Yes. I know Sheffield will be talking to him about that one
for
sure. But thank you guys so much for joining Greg and I. We will be back at the next home game, which will be Sam Houston. September 6th. So for now, we're going to sign off. But again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. We can always go back and look and answer them for next show. But for Greg, I'm Cienna Pillaton. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.